My journey of trying to explore every county in the United States has spanned from gorgeous fall colors in upstate New York, down to the historic deep south of Mississippi, and out to the vast Sonoran Desert of the American Southwest. This episode of the journey is headed to my first time exploring the heavily populated Northeast megalopolis, which spans from Washington, D.C. up to Boston. Today is county number 10 and the fourth state I've done in this series, with Newcastle County, Delaware. With only 3 counties, Delaware has the least amount of any other state in the country. Newcastle covers the northern third of Delaware and is the smallest county out of these, but is by far the most populated, with over half the state's population reside in Newcastle. The county reflects much of the state's physical geography, which lies in the Atlantic coastal plain. This is among the flattest land in the United States that stretches from New England all the way down to Texas. The eastern boundary of the county is where the major Delaware River begins at the Delaware Bay and is where the county drains its water via the Christina River and the Brandywine Creek. Although I didn't visit, this is the first county I've explored that strangely has 2 small conclaves across the Delaware River on the New Jersey side. The highest point in the state also lies in the county at 447 feet above sea level, which is the second lowest state high point, only being above Florida's highest point. The county is a great gateway to major U.S. cities like New York City, Philadelphia, D.C., or Baltimore by the way of I-95, along with U.S. highways 13, 40, 202, and 301 traveling within the county. Wilmington is the largest city in Delaware and is a great jump-off point to visit anywhere in the county. The city sits on the former Fort Christina, which was the first Swedish settlement in North America. Here is where the confluence of the Brandywine and Christina rivers is located before they reach the Delaware. It's home to stunning brick building architecture throughout the downtown, along with the iconic and important Delaware Memorial Bridge, which provides convenient access to New Jersey across the Delaware River. The city is home to many parks in and around the urban area, like Brandywine Park, which surrounds a section of the Brandywine Creek just north of downtown. Like much of the city, the architecture is really pretty with several bridges crossing over the park, like the Van Buren Bridge. The Christina River, which flows south of downtown, also has some pretty parks around its banks, but it also has a really nice river walk, which is a good spot to take a walk after dinner at one of the many nice restaurants in the area. I don't do museums as much when I travel, but I did stop at the Hagley Museum, which is just northwest of downtown, and this place was amazing. You first go through several exhibits that explain the history of inventions, along with the process of getting the important patent on what you created. From here, you can take a shuttle or to simply walk to various demonstrations where they share how gunpowder is made, how axe and pulleys work, along with watching gunpowder explode. As you continue up, you will go by some ruins in the park until you make it up to the beautiful Hagley House that sits upon a hill. This was easily the best museum I've ever been to, and it's deserving of its own video, as so many notable things happen here, including an explosion that wiped out many of the structures on the property at the time. From Wilmington, I headed south along the Delaware River to the historic city of Newcastle. The city sits on the Delaware River with spots like Battery Park that give you an amazing view of it. The city is among the prettiest I've ever seen from my travels, with its brick streets and brick buildings that reflect the colonial history that is clear here. My favorite thing to explore in the city is the First State National Historical Park. This park has several units throughout Delaware, and with one of these units even creeping into Pennsylvania. In Newcastle, you have the Old County Courthouse, which is arguably the most historic building in the state. Furthermore, this stunning building is one of the oldest courthouses in the country and is where the Delaware's colonial assembly voted in favor of independence from Pennsylvania and England in 1776. The Declaration of Independence was read from the balcony on the second floor to citizens below, along with the Delaware's first state constitution being drafted and adopted here. I could keep going with reading notable moments in history that happened here, but I'm sure you get the point. The county is home to a ton of Delaware state parks that I unfortunately didn't have the time to see, but I did spend one morning at Brandywine Creek State Park. Just north of Wilmington, this state park is home to an uninspected patch of nature among a very crowded area otherwise. My last night in the county was spent on a 2-hour sunset cruise on the Delaware River. This cruise was conducted by Fort Delaware State Park, which at the time was done with tours of the fort throughout the week for the season. The tour takes you up and close to Fort Delaware as you make your way up to Newcastle, where you turn back around and head back to the starting point. It was unfortunately a super cloudy night, and I was pretty shocked the tour still happened because the waters were very rough, but regardless, the experience was pleasant. You got a really nice perspective of Fort Delaware. We went under this eerie power line with flashing lights on top. You got to see Newcastle from the river's perspective, and you could see the Delaware Memorial Bridge in the distance. It was a beautiful way to end the night and my trip in Delaware. My journey, of course, is going to continue with my 5th state in the series, which is actually my home state. Let me know in the comments below where you think I'm headed to next. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit a thumbs up. If you really like the content that I'm sharing, please hit a subscribe. Super important for the channel. And until next time, have a good one.